Hi guys, it's Adam with the Cichlid Show, and today we are going to be testing our sump. So we're going to take old dirty sump tank water, and we're going to pour the tank water into the pump pit, and we should see it cloud up, and we'll see it get recirculated back through the sump, and we want to see how long. The important thing here is we want to see how long it takes the sump to get back to this condition. Pouring this stuff into the sump is definitely gonna affect it. Now the question is how much. So let's try it out. Well, the water is pretty much right back to where it started. So we can see that it looks like the filter socks are they're just browner. They basically picked up the vast majority of the detritus. But the filter socks, they do the bulk of the work. And so one of the things that I am going to change about the way this tank is set up, I need 4 filter socks. So we're going to have these two, I believe, are going to fill up too quickly, and the amount of water that is moving through this tank, it's actually rather deceptive. So I don't know if you guys can see that, but there is a great deal of, a lot of water being pushed across those tubes from those 2 Rio pumps down there. Given this much head, about 2 feet of head, which is head is what they call the distance between the pump and how high the water needs to be lifted. So the difference here is about 2 feet. So those pumps will do about 800 gallons per hour at 2 feet, and I have 2 pumps. So that is 1,600 gallons per hour. That's a lot. And you guys can see this white stuff, these little white particles, that is Purigen, and it is. I'm going to be fighting with that stuff for a while. It's very tiny. The particles are very small, and it's what you see in this layer. So this stuff gets out. No matter how tight you make the bag, it manages to find its way out, and it will, it'll get trapped in the various spots throughout the sump. When you first put the Purigen into these bags, it takes a while to kind of settle out. What I need is dirtier water. So all the tanks are really clean right now. The planted tank, I can always find dirt in there. So I think what I'm going to do is get in there tomorrow and just scoop up a big pile of nasty. In fact, you know what? I could do that right now. Alright, so I'm back with my super duper muddy water from the planted tank. So this took me about 24 hours to actually get this done. So it's been one day, and I've noticed a couple things since then, which I'll mention. One of which is that there is a fry that somehow got into the sump underneath one of the socks. So I'm not really sure how this guy got in here. He must have been, lost amongst all that garbage I took out of the canister filter. They're really hard to spot, especially from when you're looking down on them from above, and they have like a muddy background. They're really hard to see. So this guy I'm gonna have to get him out. I've been putting, let's see, 2 milliliters of ammonia in the tank per day. That is not healthy. So he'll have to come out. He'll go in the fry tank, and then you guys on the stream can see him. Okay, so I got my dirty planted tank water, and we are now ready to pour it into the tank and see how it does. Alright guys, so it's been about 23 minutes. It's very close to where it was when we started. So I would say that test certainly passed. Like that's really impressive. I like that a lot. Now the one thing that is different from before we started is the filter socks are now really gross. They are brown, so they're going to have to be cleaned. But that's fine, right? We want the dirt in the socks, not in the water. And you know, they clearly were up to the task. The problem is that if they get much dirtier, the water is going to start spilling over into this stage. It's going to skip this baffle altogether. You can see it's getting really close. So I got to up the number of socks. Alright guys, so at this point in the video, I kind of went nuts with the testing and the cool videos. And I want to show you guys a couple of the test video recordings. So this is showing the baffle being overrun by dust, and you can see the dust flowing under the baffle. And when you speed it up and slow it down and go forwards and backwards, it just looks really cool. So this is actually really neat because this helps you understand how the tank is working. So there's a filter sock, there's a hanging baffle and a regular baffle. If you look over on the right side, there's that little gap. That little gap right there is being formed by the water moving in different directions. It's like a little pocket. It's neat how that works. And so here we have just a big explosion. Again, you can see the baffles in action sucking the dust into the main tank. I really like that. It's got an epic feel to it. That's the way that looks. Super cool. Here's another view. That dust falling, that's overflow. That's where the filter socks are not keeping up and the dirt is spilling over the edge. If you look closely, you can see a face right here. My son pointed out to me actually, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. Right there. Kind of neat. This is one of the earlier tests, and this is the reason why it's coming out of the bottom right like that is because the hose is pushed right up against the filter sock and it's blowing it right through. But you can really see that the socks are dirty and they're not keeping up at all right there. You're having a hard time. So I had a bunch more of these videos, but they were all, you know, varying quality. Those were the best ones. But I hope this has been useful. You know, the cleanup and sort of aftermath of this whole video and testing really wasn't that bad. I took the sump apart. I'm going to be replacing the baffles. Actually, I already have replaced the baffles with glass baffles. And so I needed to remove all this stuff anyway, so I pulled it all out. You can see that the filter floss had some dirt, but you know, even though I put probably 2 cups of actual dirt into the tank, it really didn't show. Like, it really held up well. I think that I'll be able to keep the 150 plus fish target that I'm after in this tank with this sump, no problem. So yeah, if you've got comments or questions about how the sump works, hit me up in the YouTube live cichlid show feed. Just Google the cichlid show on YouTube, and it'll point you right to it. I respond to those comments pretty frequently, a couple times a day. Or leave a comment here. Subscribe if you want more videos like this. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope it was useful. Talk to you guys later.